And first up, we've got the big legend, that is Jimbo. Give it up for Jimbo, everybody.
Great intro, as always. Okay, how's it going? James William Dillon, but Jimbo's my name. I'm going to try and record everything on the GoPro, so any of the performers up, give us a shout and I'll send you on your set. You know what I mean? We should be promoting each other, you know, that kind of way. And something I wanted to say, when we were out for poetry points, they're a thing. And I said it to Dave, I was like, I never really do any controversial ones when I go to the Flo Sho. So this one is kind of controversial, it's about COVID. Okay?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so you'll see how I feel at the end of it, right? It's called Unsocial Distancing. Long gone are the days when a sneeze's haze will be greeted with a blessing from God. Now, the act is blasphemous, souls escape far from us but never stray further than 2K. Government handouts, inevitable bank bailouts, people are losing their jobs. I have a lot of respect for the front line. I've limped 5K, dressed up, clapped at 8, but I'm no fan of a Norse or Guard-filled flash mob. If I see another choreographed dance routine performed on a beach, rooftop or hospital mezzanine, I'll be fit to first make sure my hands are clean. Raise them to my mouth, form a seal, then proceed to scream. The numbers are conflated. The dying with COVID, it's not COVID related. And that birthday you wanted to celebrate, well, it's been belated. The newest born to your clan had to be greeted through double glazing. The politicians at the start had their best intentions, but now seem to be paving a new route to Satan's basement. We're being berated with a new cycle, but just like that, the wheels have come off. They just keep rotate, repeat, regurgitate the talking points from the mouthpiece of a police state. That's the story. We're the masking and the vaccine's mandatory. Your house is now purgatory. Leave and we'll find you. Have friends over, we'll find you. This contract sounds binding, but I don't remember signing. Why not talk about the treatments we're receiving? Take vitamins B through D with zinc like they do in Sweden. I've been working from home while sneezing into my elbow a good 2-3 years now, yet the cases aren't receding. Suicide shouldn't be the main cause of death during flu season. The heart of this nation's still beating, but with every lecture about levels and lockdowns persistently, they cause steady bleeding. It's hard to share the love when you ban hugs, living under the thumb of an iron fist, wearing a latex glove. Okay. It gets lighter now, don't worry about it, okay? Because I done a gig over in Shin A, and at the end of it I asked my dad, I was like, oh James, what do you think of that? He goes, it's good, yeah, but I'd probably stick to the funny stuff. Sure, took me a while to get over it, but then I thought, yeah, the funny stuff is actually better, I think, yeah. So I made me go home and write this one. I was going between titles. It was either going to be called Working From Home, Nosy Neighbour, or Jimbo, the boy who lives in the window. So you can guess which one I went for. To the neighbours, I'm the boy who lives in the window. To me, there's a crack addict, a kidnap victim, one's on the game and a grieving widow. Well, that's the lives I've compiled in my own mind. My imagination runs wild when I open those blinds. One only leaves the house to go shopping. No problem for her getting the steps in. Sometimes treats herself with takeout from the local delicatessen. Chap beside her has a strange obsession with having the cleanest car and weirdest music collection. He's blaring 50 Cent one day, then the soundtrack to Interstellar, Bob Geldof. He wipes down the car so much, I'm surprised the paint hasn't come off. Pretty sure the people above him are running a sweatshop. They're in and out the house with boxes all day, but at least at certain times they let the kids out to play. The family above us must practice feng shui, but only when it's late. The furniture moves around so much you'd swear it was sleeping rough. And down the far end, it gets crazy. I hear 2 ladies fighting. One accusing the other's bloke he was stalking her daughter. The parallels between this street and a soap opera, not even funny. This other time, same girl lost it, kicked the other one in the fanny. True story. When there's so much of a raised voice, the smokers emerge to get the best vantage points. Same when they see blue flashing lights. The kids are alright. They went door to door selling lemonade. It wasn't homemade, it was just bottled water with some Robinsons mixed in, but still tasted great. But probably not worth the €2 I paid. They didn't have any change. Every time the bin man sees me, he gives me a wave. But just on Thursdays. And that lady I said was on the game, well, Plenty of male visitors and a new package delivered almost every day. But what do they see? Well, as long as the window is clean, they'll see me, on occasion with a can in hand, dog beside me ready to bark at the postman or any dogs or cats that walk past. At one stage, I got out the old wee, so they seen me bowl a virtual strike or three. But that's all about to change. If you want to see more of me, you'll have to get the train, as I'll be going into the office most days. But now my neighbours will be grateful to get some space away from my unrelenting gaze. I wanted to do a bit of a throwback. I think this was the first poem that I wrote. And I was actually thinking, geez, I'm actually alright at this. I might keep this up. And then when I got drunk at parties, it was, I'm a poet, I'll do a poem with you. So this is the one. If I'm drunk, you'll hear me do this on a night out. It's called Sober Sex. Feelings emulsified. Climactic happenings from the near empty dwelling. It started off with a flirty text and then genital swelling. Compelling ideas are my dirty thoughts from my overactive imagination. A text from around the corner, I stood static, a passive stance. Paranoid neighbours glaring with every passing glance. She emerges, nerves shared, so we stood a chance. I wonder how this will pan out. In the door first left her friend resides, crashed out. Awkward idle talk with self-providing inspiration. To stimulate sensation, neglecting creation. There's nothing good on these stations, so she leaves. The next move is a lean towards target. Not one for chit chat, so a stare caused a spark, and now the ball is in her park. Last notable memories of a held hand as she led me skyward. Lights off, as per usual. With enough peering moonlight for me to maintain, stand and deliver. An exhale, grab and a shiver. Friend's bed saturated in shame, but nothing but fake mutualness leads to the lack of the blame game. Not searching still for that confident girl who makes me feel my valor does not lack credence or skill. I'm going to make procrastination my hobby someday. Because excuses rendered my hobby shoddy. Communication link continued to the final destination. Plan to not make plans, man's fight against man. Battles fought among shams for future mas and prams in no direction, stuck in a trap when one wants to branch out. Dreams shredded to make way for a view of the playroom window. Silently driven deranged as nappies get changed. For the next one, right, there's a bit of a backstory behind it. We are doing up the backyard and I want to get a boardhouse for my sister. So we asked one of the lads, and it's not as if it's a weird request because he is a carpenter, but it went on for a couple of weeks and then I reached out and I was like, what's the story of this boardhouse? He's like, oh yeah, no, but yeah. He rang one of the lads and he's like, Fitzy, is Jimbo serious about this boardhouse? I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, tell him I'll be up to him in 20 minutes. So you can imagine what a boardhouse that's built in 20 minutes looks like. And I wanted to kind of just prove that you can write a poem about anything, so this one's called Hostel Board Hostel. Tyre screeched on a darkened street. Agreed to meet to receive a boardhouse personally made for my sister D. I tried to pay but was greeted by, no, you're grand. That's when alarm bells should have rang. Indoors confusion washed over me. I could now see what clearly was a board killing machine. The entrance was jagged, and even if a board could get past it, it then had to contest with nails and screws, which could easily take a red breast jacket. I tried it in the garden for a week, but I was more concerned for the avian welfare in my local vicinity. A few positives: it was sturdy. A burly birdie would barely be able to bend the ledge of this carpentry catastrophe. But now times have changed. I find myself watching a time lapse of a decking being made and a Canadian kitchen upgrade. He moved to Canada shortly after he made the boardhouse. I don't know whether it was related or not, yeah. Okay. So I'll do the main one now, and then I'll let everyone else have a little go. But again, video's there. We'll get famous this year, yeah? Yeah. Anyone here Ryan Tubridy do me poem, no?
Yes, oh my god, that was so good.
Okay, so I'll just tell you a story about that, yeah. I took a picture of Ryan Tubridy when I was on the train, yeah?
Oh my god, yeah.
Did you see Yeah, and he ended up, I actually tagged him in it, and then I seen it on my story, on my phone the next day. I was like, Ryan Tubridy tags you on a post. I was like, oh, here we go. And then he says, like, oh, it's a bit weird that you took this picture and all, but I'm actually 6 foot, I'm not 6'3", da da da. And then he went on the radio the next day and actually read out the poem. Oh, Chase, will I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick, yeah.
I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, she probably should have. But, yeah, so he read this out and I was like, oh, geez, fair play to you. So, because it was like, you can't take a picture of someone and then, like, just post it, you know, it's weird. So I was like, I'll write a poem about it. So I was like, Ryan Tubridy is just like you and me. Although he gets paid by RTE, the train he takes is no different. It still stops at Connolly. The preferred method of transport for this 6'3", lanky radio personality. Reading the paper through rounded frames, he knows that Dart is great. That's why he takes it. So he's never late. He liked it, I liked it. He called it, what did he call it? Trippy and odds. But hey, I'll take that any day of the week. Okay, that's it. So, usually I promote my hats, but I'm not doing it out of respect for her.
Please do. I love your hats.
Okay. But my whole thing is make Ireland grand again. Yeah, I'm just riding that way for the last couple of years, yeah. I probably need Trump to run again so it becomes relevant, but this is make Ireland grand again. Thanks for listening. I'm going to take a little sip of water. I'm out of practice. This is the first gig since last year.
First one of 2023?
Yeah, the first one of 2023. Is that little click, one of them ones? Yes. You need more of that, that's it. Okay. Right here, yeah. Okay. I want to go back. I can't say exactly to when. Not so far back when the spuds were duds, civilians dying in the rise, and before Dáil came to order, or all the troubles on the border. I'd like to cherry pick the best bits, when Ireland was grand. I'd like to talk to those who built Newgrange, ask how they timed the winter solstice to a T, when Oscar Wilde roamed the streets, or James Joyce during Ulysses. Celtic Tiger in its peak, and the only bust in sight was Molly Malone's. Everyone has a Tamagotchi. Italian 90 playing on the telly again, and fuck Scalacci. The night Christa Burg seen red. Aspirations higher. Nelson dethroned and erecting the spire. McGregor. Not when he was flogging whiskey to out fellas, when he was made champ and there was talk of putting him on the stamp and the coinage. They belittle in the broad little. Ah, now Eamon, leave it bleed now. You wouldn't give a slip to Colester. And of course, Celtic. What if Georgie Burgess got the snip? If Garth Brooks has played some gigs, if Barry McGuigan had weak wrists or Johnny Logan had a lisp, we'd still be dancing in Billy Brennan's barn or around a pint of playing. If I drown in this nostalgia, these are the grand times I'd want to be found reeling in. I'd keep on 'em. I like 'em. You'd have Katie Taylor thanking God another try by that lad bod and less ATMs getting robbed. Pre-foot and mouth outbreak. Post Henri's handball heartache. When the Pope came and kissed the land, that was grand. When we could withstand an orange weather warning, that was grand. When all the snakes were banned, that was grand. A time where everyone who wants it gets to shift. We all get taught French by the girls in Bewitched. The batter on your Bordeaux fish is always crisp. Fearless Paul Kimmage, questioning Lance on his drug stance. Michael Flatley's ankles are wringing wet because of river dance. The 32 counties, if we get the chance. When the smell of air factories wafted through our streets, the mix of Cadbury's hitting the breeze, blended with potatoes, onion and cheese, perfectly in harmony. Father Ted gives every eulogy. And we stop mimicking the states. They want to be great, we'll settle for grand, as long as their homeland is where having the crack originates without debate. Michael D is handled with care by the safe hands of Packy Bonner, so we can lay a wreath whenever we need them. The leaves are always in free fall on Raglan Road. No matter where you go in the world as an Irish pub, we communicate in wink and elbow code. If we live with the clarity of Padraig Pearse's pen, we will make Ireland grand again. Thanks everyone.